Hello, once again, welcome to my channel. Just a little talk today, and this channel itself is designed for like saving money and living cheaply as possible. And when I say cheap, it's kind of like, not spending too much, not overspending, and kind of like minimizing things to the best of your ability, whilst not sacrificing the things that really matter. And it sometimes brings me to the question of politics. Now, it's not particularly, you may ask, why politics? And when I say politics, I mean generally on the kind of like the national scale. The problem is, of course, that people get very energetic, very kind of like passionate about which side you're on, who you're voting for, who is kind of like running for election, and there's a kind of an association with your particular kind of party. And you then kind of look down on people of the opposing parties and stuff, and it generally tends to polarize people a lot. The fact is, I mean, there are many problems in the world, and most of them can be attributed to those in power, those major kind of politics and underhanded kind of things that actually go on. They're the real criminals, the people who deserve our ire, really, because essentially a lot of things that are illegal for them are kind of like illegal for common people and citizens as such. If you kind of know anything about inside trading, it's something that's kind of like quite often practiced by politicians and those who are kind of like the real scroungers of the system, if you really think about it. I mean, why do we need somebody to represent what we kind of like believe in? I'd say most people are kind of like quite intelligent enough to actually kind of understand what's actually going on, but possibly not in some instances. It's true that the masses are kind of like programmed by the TVs and the radios and the media and stuff, but essentially, people know right from wrong, and the institution of this thing we call democracy tends to really kind of stress people out. Like you're always kind of wondering, how is it going to get worse? What else is going to happen? If I vote for said party, then they will kind of implement certain things, which they never do. I mean, let's face it, what politicians made out of a million promises, and let's not just be completely down on some of the people. I'm sure in the heart of hearts, some of them, to start with, might have the best of intentions, but when you're in a system like that, it's not conducive to actually kind of fulfilling them. So it's so bound and tied up in industry and kind of backhanders and general kind of support of like various institutions, that they're kind of strong-armed into positions which isn't really good for the people. It's mainly good for the party, good for those in those positions. And the way I think of it is like this, a big tobacco company, Now, we know that cigarettes cause cigarettes cause cancer. Now, why would you, now that people know that kind of cancer is caused by smoking and stuff, then trust, say, a big tobacco company to implement health regulations, to kind of like fund a cancer association? And it makes no sense. Yet the people who have caused all of these problems, who have dug us into, and this is like worldwide, I mean, I don't talk to any particular country, into various problems of financial debt, of intrinsic kind of like problems with agriculture and upscaling things, which actually kind of make lots of problems with like mass farming and trade deals across the world, which kind of don't benefit us, and they by backing a certain country, for example, going to war with a certain country, etc. We kind of make affiliations with these places. So I mean, if we support them and they are practicing things that are kind of like, excuse the crows, they're actually going nuts today. If they're actually kind of like involved in things which we deem to be not very moral and against what we actually stand for, then essentially we're giving them the thumbs up. You know, I mean, when apartheid was a big thing, there was a lot of people who were kind of like not putting money into kind of South Africa and stuff, and it was kind of a big worldwide thing, because when people stand together and stand against something, shit starts to happen. Yet we're still involved with countries that have very kind of poor records of like care of their fellow man, those who kind of degrade various stratas of society, who kind of look down upon women, who do all these kind of things, all these nasty things which we wouldn't accept in our society, but by actually trading with them, we're saying it's okay because we're quite willing to kind of turn the blind eye. And that's essentially what you're doing when you actually kind of thinking that these people, corrupt people who actually run your country, are going to make a difference. I mean, it sounds all doom and gloom, doesn't it? It sounds like you can't make a difference, that your vote stands for nothing. On the national level, pretty much it doesn't. Now, on the local level, that's completely different, because, I mean, you're kind of directly supporting your local candidates, and there's a lot more grassroots kind of connection with your local MPs and stuff, and that it's in their interest really to pull their weight. Otherwise, they won't gain any kind of support thereafter. But where democracy has to, say for example in Australia, where you have to implement laws to fine people if they don't vote. I mean, democratic? The right to want to vote should also come with the right to actually abstain. Because if you see no benefit in the system, and see no good that can come of it, then why force people essentially with fines? And if the people can't or won't pay the fines, afterwards with prison. So essentially you are forcing them at the point of the gun to actually support a system they may not believe in. I mean, if you can make them believe it, or you can somehow convince them, then more power to you. But forcing them, probably not the way to go. Anyway, that will be my short rant for the day. And like I said, it's mainly to do with the stress of being involved with these things. If you want to make a difference in the world, I always find that it's better at the kind of centre on your particular sphere of influence, the way that you can actually kind of implement the things that you believe in the world. Your treatment of the local environment, your support of local groups. Anything is has to be fundamentally at the very kind of base of any system. If you're kind of voting for fools who are spending your stolen money, I mean, essentially what taxes are, then you're giving kind of power to people who are just have no interest in your survival, or your or benefit in any way, shape or form. They don't fucking care about you. Let's face it, they do not give a shit about you. They care for votes, they care for their money, they care for their security. They don't care about yours. And the sooner you actually kind of realise this, the sooner you will actually give yourself a bit of freedom. And freedom and feeling good about yourself and feeling good about your kind of impact on the world is what's important. And that's what ties it in with kind of general health, living, and being a good person, and basically just fulfilling what you need to be in the world, really. So anyway, that's my thought of the day. I hope some people might be offended by this, but I hope that it's actually kind of brought some benefit to you. At the very least, made you think just a little bit about the way that things are actually kind of run. Okay, so it sounds very conspiratorial, but essentially, it's not really. It's pretty plain to actually see. It's just whether you want to see it or not, really, is the question. Anyway, that's that.